All right, final pathology report is in. I'm going to share with you guys the information. Let me just sort of set it up to get this out of the way. We do have a grade 4 glioblastoma, which we've expected. So that's not a surprise. That is now official. What we were hoping for and what we did not get is 2 mutations. So I'll get into that. Essentially, we received the bleakest results, which is a grade 4 glioblastoma, no mutations, and really no opportunities for extended, I don't want to say extended treatment, but essentially like opportunities for other treatments that could possibly extend this timeline. So it's essentially that, we'll just say that 12 to 18 month timeline. But let me go ahead and share the pathology report. Just a couple things to necessarily look at. So when we were looking at mutations, there was 2 mutations. And if you see here, these cancer type biomarkers, IDH1, IDH2, essentially you want a mutation. So a mutation is not detected. That was not what we were looking for. That was actually more important than the grade of the tumor. Something else I wanted to share with you. So tumor mutational burden, and I actually pulled up the definition here. The total number of mutations, again, mutations are good for a genetic breakdown of a tumor, right? This is the genetic breakdown found in the DNA of cancer cells. So knowing the tumor mutational burden may help plan the best treatment. So there are more treatment options and higher likelihood to extend that timeline if there are more mutations. So you want a high tumor mutational burden. And as you see, mine is low, it's a 0. So it doesn't come back really great, which also we found out, not great news, was that immunotherapy, which is something that we looked at or we discussed potentially for down the road, alternative treatment, and again, an opportunity to potentially extend this, that is now off the table apparently for me. So a ton of hits that came recently, but here's what I'll say. For one, finally the pathology is in. So the uncertainty has now gone. We know what it is. I went into it expecting the glioblastoma, which is what we got, and I had no expectations of mutation. If we got a mutation, great, but it wasn't like my fingers were crossed. It was what it was. The next thing that we're looking at is really the resection and the surgery, which is slated for April 8th. That's the success of that is really the next thing. Getting rid of the tumor. Is the tumor gone? So you don't want to hear the news, but it is what it is, and you kind of just move forward with it. That's where I'm at in that space. Didn't love the information, but it is the information, and you just move forward with it. I've really focused on the surgery, and I mean, my time has been spent really trying to make this decision by April 1st on who's my primary care team. So to be quite frank, it's wasted energy me thinking about what could have, would have, or should have happened. So there's that information. Pathology is in. We don't have to worry about what it is. We know what it is. The next thing is priorities. Second opinion group, not moving along as fast as I'd like to. Fortunately, friends of mine have connections at Stanford. We've connected with Stanford, and they have what's called a grand rounds, which is essentially an independent review, which is what I really want. I've mentioned somebody with no skin in the game. That's another opportunity that we have there. Nutritionist. I've got my blood work back from UCLA. Because of my steroids, my glucose is really high, and that's been causing some issues with me, just as far as like physically, shakes, light headaches, stuff like that. So I really want to lock the nutrition in because I feel like that's going to help me just regulate. Naturally, these steroids cause glucose to go up. I had to do insulin in the hospital. No long-term implications for that, but still it's an impact factor for me. So we're moving forward with that. Just getting the nutrition on the books is what's holding us up right now. On a brighter note, it's been an awesome week. UCLA was absolutely exhausting, mentally draining, extensive. great information. Hopefully by next week, we'll be able to review the information. I did speech assessment, language assessment, Spanish, English, had to do puzzles, functional MRI. I was jet lagged, tired. It was exhausting, but it was thorough. So this should give us some really good information about the risk factors where my specific tumor is. Hopefully by next Friday, I'll have that update. But I've also had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with friends, which has been amazingly invigorating. Went to spend a day in San Francisco, had an opportunity to spend some time with homegirl Mira. We went to a Warriors game. That was awesome. Courtside, it was phenomenal. We had a blast there, got time to spend with her family, which was great. I'm in New York now, spending time with my boy Dunn. Got to go out to dinner with my buddy Nick Gilson, which just like with all the traveling around and running around and tests, like it's just nice to spend time with friends, and that's what gives me life. So being able to do that, it's been awesome, and it's just invigorated me. So I have Maryland basketball game, women's basketball game tonight with Mackenzie. I'm excited for that. It's March Madness. I got boxing at MSG Saturday. I have Knicks game, my first dad's Knicks game on Sunday. We got a lot of stuff going on, and everybody's focused on this timeline of me dying. Well, baby, I'm living. So I truly mean that. And it's really fun to see, to share the excitement with others and really just to share the experience as well. So a lot of good stuff going on. What's next? Surgery April 8th, tentative surgery, which looks more and more imminent. April 1st, primary care decision made. I will be going to Raleigh this Monday, 2 days in Raleigh visiting Duke, Dr. Friedman. And my hope is that the decision between UCLA and Duke becomes crystal clear when I'm just there. And I sort of know my factors around that decision. So we have that going on. So we have Raleigh, we have the grand rounds, which is hopefully in a week. Should take about 7 business days, so a week and a half. And then April 8th resection. So that's sort of the order of events. Those are the updates we have going on. Every Friday, I release the updates. Every Monday, we do the podcast, the episode this week. So make sure you guys tune in. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, as always, love the support. Love the outreach. Appreciate the text messages. See you guys in the next video. Bye.